Today I'm going to tell you why all diets are the exact same thing. Alright? So, very basically, there are 3 macronutrients that we're going to look at. They are protein. Why is that happening? Oh well. Carbohydrates. If I can spell. There we go. And fats. Now, there's actually 4. Alcohol is the 4th, but we're not going to look into that because you don't really consume that much alcohol. And so these 3 macronutrients make up the total calories you eat, right? This is total calories, right? And let's just separate it. So like, let's say that's your protein, and then that's, whoopsies. And then, please. Thank you. And then that's your carbs and fats. Right. And then let me just get extra colors. So let's say that's your protein, okay. That's your fats. And that's your carbs. Right? So let's take a look at let's say, and so this is your macronutrient breakdown when you're on an omnivore diet. So let's look at a carnivore diet. Alright, what does that mean? Well, meat is primarily protein and fats. So if you're eating a carnivore diet, you're pretty much just getting rid of all the carbohydrates, right? So instead, your diet is going to look like this instead. That's kind of bad. Oopsies. It's going to look like that. And it's going to be, or never mind, what I want. So it's going to be like that ish. And hopefully it's going to be something along the lines of this. That's going to be your fats, and that's going to be your proteins. Right? So if you're eating a carnivore diet, or, oopsies. And so let's look at the carnivore diet. So in the rough split of macronutrients, if you're eating a carnivore diet, meat is primarily protein and fats. So if you're only eating protein and fats and none of the carbs, right? No carbs, and you don't eat anything else, you eat less calories. Right? Calories decrease. Therefore, you lose weight. Simple. Right? And so the reason why people say that certain diets work fantastic and other people don't is because the people who do it right, they don't consume extra calories to make up for the food calories that they lost. And the people that do it wrong increase the other macronutrients so that their calorie deficit is gone. So it's the same thing with any other diet. Let's look at, whoopsies, let's say, a keto diet. Actually, wait, let's leave the same thing as carnivore. Anyway, let's look at a low to no fat diet. Alright? Same split. Low to no fat. You have your protein, basically no fat, let's say no fat, and then you have your carbohydrates. Same thing. You have gotten rid of one macronutrient, and therefore you have decreased the amount of calories. Therefore, you lose weight. And for the people that compensate, who increase their protein, who increase their carbohydrates, they do not lose weight. So fundamentally, losing weight comes down to calories. Calories in and calories out. This goes into CICO, which is based off of the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be destroyed or created. Right? energy in equals energy out. And so, based off of this fundamental principle of the universe, if you intake less energy, your body is going to need to expend energy in order to keep you alive. Therefore, you will lose weight. Simple as that. Now, the thing with CICO is that it is more complicated. It is more complicated, right? Because the calories that you consume can alter subsequent calories that you intake, as well as altering the calories that you burn, right? Let's say you eat a slice of pizza. Boop, boop, boop. My slice of pizza. Alright? Let's say this is 300 calories. Alright? The thing is, that's not going to fill you up. And so you're going to want to eat more calories. So that's going to modulate your calorie intake by increasing the amount of calories you would eat in comparison to, let's say, 300 calories of, I don't know, broccoli. And I'm going to try to draw broccoli. That's not broccoli. That's also not broccoli. Hold up. That's like somewhat like broccoli. Let's say it's broccoli, alright? Versus 300 calories of broccoli, you're gonna feel pretty damn full. And so you're not going to want to eat as many calories afterward. And so the food you eat modulates this equation. It modulates CICO, either by modulating calories in or calories out. But fundamentally, losing weight comes down to CICO. You cannot break the first law of thermodynamics. It does not work like that. You are not an exception to the universe. You're not. Okay? And so, what all diets are doing is simply altering the total calories you are consuming. Keto gets rid of your carbohydrates in the hopes that your total calories decreases. No fat diets do it by eliminating fats and therefore trying to lower your calories. Time restriction aims to do this by lowering the total amount of calories but not the ratio of macronutrients. So instead of, let's say, this is your total calories, instead, alright, let me completely draw that out. So instead of this being your total amount of calories, instead it's like that, right? Instead it's like that. It's smaller, less calories, but the ratio is still the same. It doesn't matter how you achieve the outcome. It doesn't matter how you achieve energy. It doesn't matter how you achieve an energy deficit. An energy deficit determines if you will be in a calorie deficit. An energy deficit determines that you will be losing weight, because your body needs an amount of energy in order to survive. If you don't consume enough energy for your body to use, then your body will use stored energy in the form of triglycerides in your fats, and you will burn and lose fat, and therefore you will lose and burn, and therefore you will lose weight. And that is it. That is the end of the story. All diets are the same. You're simply modifying your caloric intake. And that's why certain diets will succeed and certain diets will not. Because if you do a diet and your calorie intake is not less than what you burn, you will not lose weight. If it is, then you will. And that is why certain people feel great. And that's why certain people see lots of success. And that's why certain people see success with diets. And other people do not. Fundamentally, you are altering one thing and one thing only, and that is energy balance. CICO. That is the end of the story. That is end all be all. Literally, that is all you need in order to lose weight. Now, one last objection. Right? There are people who track their calories, but they claim that they are not losing weight. And in that case, you're not tracking accurately. Research studies have been shown that people can under-track by up to 60% of the calories. So you could track yourself to eat 1,000 calories in a day. Right? But in actuality, you could be eating 1,600. Right? Now that's really low. So instead, let's take a better example. Let's say 2,000 calories per day. You say you track 2,000 calories, but in reality, you could actually have eaten 3,200 calories in the same day. So it is not that calories in, calories out CICO doesn't work. It is that our instruments for measurement are flawed, and we cannot and more than that, when we measure things, we are flawed in our measurements, and that is why and from those errors, this leads to no weight lost and potentially weight gain, versus this will lead for sure to weight loss. Alright? And that is it. All diets are the same. You're manipulating calories in, calories out. And that is end of story. And if you've learned something, subscribe, like, share, and comment down below, and I will see you next time.